I just want to say kudos to you guys for investing in your business. This is an incredible call. I'm so excited about it. Like, I got my notepad. I'm ready to just write the whole thing. So, Michelle, you're recording, so I just want to make sure you didn't forget that. So here we go, you guys. Get ready to write. Oh, and go ahead and mute yourself out if you haven't already. So I'm going to go mute myself.
Yes, and we will do we'll do your recognition on Voxer this week, just because I have so much stuff written down. I don't want to miss anything. So I titled this training Quantum Leap, because I know that's what everybody would desire, is to just take this giant leap forward. But the secret is that, and I'm going to be looking over at my notes because, like I said, there's so many things. The secret is that the quantum leap is actually a myth. Our culture seems to think that you can skip over the process, and you know, the process of anything is plant, cultivate, and harvest. And that's the same thing with our business: plant, cultivate, and harvest. But they think that they can skip over the middle part and go directly to harvest. And that's the problem with people getting into our business, and really with a lot of things that you do in your life. And that's with, you know, dieting and eating right, and you don't get the results that you want in your first 2 days and you stop. And so it's because of that, those big giant leaps that you are trying to take instead of breaking everything down. And believe it or not, when you can master that, you've mastered our business. So I'll just tell you, I was going to come home from seminar. I'm usually pretty good about keeping my ears, you know, closed with certain things, especially when it comes to our business and the things that I feel like we're doing right. I'm really good about sitting in my Mary Kay director class and going, okay, I'm not going to listen to her because I'm doing this. I'm not going to change it. Or I'm doing this and I'm not going to change it to this. But I sat in Leah Laughlin's class, and she's such a great teacher. And I'm like, I'm going to do all her programs. You know, I was just gung-ho. And honestly, God convicted me. I got on the plane and I always read on the plane. I started reading my Slight Edge book again. And believe it or not, I've been doing the Slight Edge for all these years and didn't really realize it. And I'm like, what am I doing? We're doing the right thing. We're planting, we're cultivating, we're harvesting. We just have to do it more in more consistency. And so, you know, I kind of nipped that in the bud about changing everything. And, you know, and it's common to do that. But what I want to do is the problem is that, or it's not a problem, the great thing about our business is there's so many different ways to the top of the mountain, okay? But we all have to master 3 of those steps, you know, the plant, cultivate, and harvest. The planning of our business is the booking. That's the booking. Nothing happens until you book somebody, okay? Mary Kay used to say that. She used to say, nothing happens till you sell something, or booking is the lifeline of your business. That is the planting. If you don't make those booking calls, you do not get the appointments. The cultivating is the coaching those appointments, making sure those guests are getting there, making sure that appointment is going to hold. That is under, when you look at our training on our YouTube channel, that is under coaching. Okay, that's under coaching and referrals. We talk about how to coach the class, or how to, you know, your words to say to a referral that's going to confirm it in a positive way instead of a negative way. We've talked about your words will change your words will change your world. And then the harvest of the plant, cultivate, and harvest is holding the appointments, selling the product. That's your harvest. That's where you reap the rewards. Okay. So you have to ask yourself, do you own these skills? It's those simple skills: booking, coaching, selling, recruiting. Okay, that's the 4th thing. That's the gravy. Can you master booking and holding 10 appointments on your books at all times? That's what you've got to work on, is being able to always say, I have at least 10. You hold one, you get 2 more. Hold one, get 2 more. And, you know, when I was getting convicted about this, I thought, I know I teach this. I know I teach it right. Trinity is sat there before with 27 appointments on her date book. I think she had 19 at seminars. Some of her girls had 12. That's what I teach. She is a reflection of what I've taught. Marianne's the same way. My business is the same way. I know that I teach this. We've given you this. We've given you the tools. You just have to own the skill. And so that's what I want you to ask yourself, going back to those small baby steps, mastering that booking, of striving to make sure that you have those 10 appointments. It doesn't mean that they're not going to be 10 in 1 week. I'm not asking you to kill yourself, but having that fulfillment, because it is a pretty sweet feeling to know that you've got 10 solid appointments on your date book, okay, at all times. And then coaching them. Do you consistently coach your appointments? And then how are your sales, your performance, your presentation? Do you know how to open the class properly? Your meat and potatoes portion, have you mastered that? What are you working on to perfect yourself, your personal development? The referral game, booking those appointments, using the green cards, using the tools that we're giving you, and closing the group and then closing the individual sale. That's all it is. That, in a nutshell, that is all that you need to master. But it's working on that takes daily effort of being in the field, okay? So before you can lead, and I know everybody, if you could have anything that you wanted in the next 6 months, I know that 95% of you would say, I want to be a sales director. And you can. The only thing that stops you is you. And I've said that all day long. You own the skill. You're going to own the skill. You're just going to perfect the skill. But there's 5 core values that I think that you really need to work on or to adapt, okay? The first one is be real, okay? And I mean this by saying, look at your activity last week and the week before and the week before, and see if you saw consistency. If you were a sales director and Mary Kay says speed of the leader is the speed of the game, would you be leading your team with integrity? If you said, go out and get 10 appointments because I have 10, go out and sell this much because this is what I sell. And so I think a lot of you aren't getting to cross that finish line because you know that you haven't done the work to get there or to master those areas. And it's just simple areas that you will master that when you do enough of those parties or facials. You will master that. It comes, you evolve into that position. It's not magical. You literally evolve into it. The second thing from the 5 core is be determined. Okay. How bad do you want this? Have grit. Have a fire that is just burning so hot inside that you just can't, that the thought of not reaching this and getting this makes you want to cry. Have a sense of urgency. I know Natalie has got a sense of urgency because her mom is calling me with ideas on how to get Natalie more business. She wants that Mini Cooper, and she knows she's got 1 year before Mary Kay fades it out. They'll fade it out. And so I love that she already saw that there's a fire in her that's been ignited, okay? There's a saying that goes, slow down to go fast. And what that means is back to the basics, okay? Back to the basics. Hang on, I've got some background noise. Hold on just a second.
Sorry, Michelle.
Oh, hey, I hope hey, did your party go good?
Yeah, my sister-in-law's signing up right now.
Oh, that went really well. Wow. Oh, I see Morgan. Hey, Morgan. All right.
Hey.
All right, guys, I'll get back. This is me like squirrel. I get distracted. All right. Let me mute. Okay, I think we've got all the background noise. All right, so what I mean by go slow to go fast is getting back to the basics of this business. Book, coach, sell, recruit. Book, coach, sell, recruit. That's it. It's the 4-point recruiting plan or the 4-point full circle. 4-point recruiting plan is something different. So that's number 3, slow down to go fast. And then, because let me just tell you, when you consistently just do 2 appointments a week, that seems kind of slow, right? And you just share the opportunity with 2 people, you're gonna start a movement. Remember, 30 days to make a movement, 90 or to build momentum, 90 days to build a movement. And so slow down to go fast. That's what I mean by that. Getting back to the basics, fighting for those 10 appointments on your books. Okay. Now, I know we've got a lot of college gals on. You're probably not going to be able to do 10 parties in a month. I love that Natalie already has a strategy. Natalie, forgive me if I keep using you, but she came home from seminar with a plan. And she told me her plan. Her plan was she was going to every other weekend hold a party. And then she's still going to do her on-the-go selling, and then she's still going to be servicing her customers. But for these first few months when she's getting acclimated to her classes, she's coming home to do 2 parties a month. And that's fine because I know she's going to max out that time, and she's going to slow down to go fast. And then whenever she has her off time, just like she did this summer, she blows it out of the water. So when you look at those chunks of time that she has created an amazing income for herself that has already impressed her father because he looked at her bank account. And it's built a solid base of customers. So what's going to happen is she's got these customers. Now she's going to start doing these interviews to start earning that Mini Cooper. And guess what? That's a whole nother avenue of income. She's got to build her team from the work that she did. And then the reorders keep coming. That is paying her over and over and over for the work that she did this summer. The abundance that she did this summer, where she worked hard, she's going to go slow to go fast now. And, she can live off that slow time during the school year and then come home for Christmas, boom, blow it out of the water, come home for spring break, blow it out of the water, come home again for summer, blow it out of the water. I love this business that you can work it around your chunks of time. That's exactly what I've done all these years. I never felt like I was doing anything spectacular, but I was providing for my family in those chunks of time through basketball season. Okay, I can only work Wednesday and Sunday all through basketball season. Okay, it's into basketball season, it's baseball season. I'm working 2 appointments on, I'm working Wednesday, Sunday again. And then summertime, I can work more. That's exactly what I did. That's what I love. You have to figure out your time. You have to figure out when you're going to do this and plug it in, and don't miss those windows of opportunity. All right, so number 4 from our 5 core values of getting ready to lead, to prepare yourself to lead. And here's the thing. Even if you're sitting on this call and you don't want to be a sales director right now, you're a leader whether you know it or not. You have to lead that class. You have to eventually lead your family. You are a leader. And so you need to listen to these 5 core values. So number 4 is pursue constant self-development. Okay, we've been talking about that a lot. Personal development, self-development. What are you reading? Put down the trash novels, put down the whatever, but read something that's going to better you. I've already got some books ordered. The Slight Edge actually has a teen version. Guess who's going to be reading The Slight Edge? My boys. I love that. And it's just good life skills, life stuff that everybody needs. And number 5, dream big and act on it daily. Okay. I heard somebody say one time, pretend you are who you want to be at least 10 times a day. And so I used to drive down the road and I would pretend like I was a national sales director. And I was driving in the national sales director Escalade. I had on the national sales director suit. I was being that person at least 10 times a day. I sat up higher. My head was held higher. My shoulders were back. I felt confident. Remember, your brain doesn't know the difference between a dream and reality. And so my brain was going to work to provide me that confidence that I needed to be the leader, eventually to be the national sales director. So dream big, okay, and act on it daily. Doing key things are easy to do, but that's also why it's easy not to do them, because they're simple. All right. And so booking attempts daily, that's easy, but we forget to do them. And when you forget that over and over and over, your business just crumbles because you don't have any appointments on your date book. Follow up with prospects. That's easy to do. Booking those career chats. Follow up with customers. These are little things that compound over time and make a difference. Creating that customer service that, hang on just a second. We've got some background noise. It'll mess up our recording. Hang on.
Would she see that?
It's okay. All right. I think we're good now. All right. And so doing those simple things, but that's why it's easy not to do them, because they're simple. This is the natural progression to success. Plant, cultivate, and harvest. Simple steps. All right. The quantum leaps do happen, but what they are is the end results of lengthy, gradual buildups of consistency, applied effort during an effort daily, on a daily basis. Slow down to go fast. Doing those, even if it's 5 bookings. All right. So I just want to tell you. So I book in spurts. And what I try to do is, like the other night, I had my referral sheets. And so I sent out 57 texts and I got no response. But that's okay, because I know that I book usually 1 out of 20 or 1 out of 25 on my referrals. Okay, that's the referral from the games. So my next day, I was going to go at least 30 bookings. So I got my total up to 87. And from those 87, I have 4 callbacks that we're working on dates. I'm following up again tomorrow. So that's my 1 out of 20, 1 out of 22 roughly, right there. Am I disappointed that my first 57? No, I'm going to follow up with them again on my second point of contact. When you know your strategy, I know that on the 5th point of contact, that's when 80% of the bookings are made. But guess what, guys? We stop at that first point of contact. Many of you would not even call those next 57, those last 57 that didn't contact me. But I will. That will be my next point of contact, and I have a different text. And so you have to do those little things. And so I know what I have to do when I book to get the results that I want. And so knowing your number is huge in this business so that you don't get disappointed. I'm going to show my age, and if anybody's my age, I know Melissa and Richard and Carmen, Karate Kid was a big movie in the 90s when I was, a teenager, maybe it was the 80s, I don't know. And so in the part of the movie, Mr. Miyagi would not let him, he wanted to start doing karate right away. And he had to do this whole wax on, wax off thing with the car. He was constantly doing, it looked just like chores, wax on, wax off. And he kept complaining. But Mr. Miyagi kept making him do this wax on, wax off with these waxing the cars. And even in the movie, we're all thinking, oh my God, when are we going to get to the fights, right? So you're all the Karate Kid, all right? And yeah, I'm Mr. Miyagi. You can't move forward until you master booking 10, having 10 appointments at all times. It's that consistently holding 2 appointments a week and sharing this opportunity with 2 people. That's the secret. This is the secret. There's not a magic key to success or a big quantum leap. It's doing these little bitty things. And that's with your health. Once again, your health, reading good books. Start with 10 pages a day. Start by walking 15 minutes a day. 7.5 one way, 7.5 back. That's it. Everybody thinks that they need a breakthrough. Everybody wants to talk to everybody else to get a breakthrough or to get a new plan. but you have it. You have it. That's all you need to do is master booking. Your breakthrough will only come when you have done the simple things over and over consistently. Book, coach, sell, recruit. You're going to get tired of me saying this. It's the small steps. Think about this. When we put a man on the moon, the famous statement was, one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Giant leap. Everybody was so mesmerized by that giant leap for mankind. We beat everybody to the moon. We did that. But what people didn't think about was all the work that it took to get that man to the moon. And we glorified, Neil Armstrong, glorified him. But who was the rocket scientist that said, hey, I think I can come up with a rocket that could, withstand the conditions of space? What about all those little tests, all those little steps? We never talk about that. Our culture doesn't talk about that, but we are in our area. We're going to talk about the little baby steps. Did you get a booking today? Did you get a booking today? Did you share this opportunity? Did you make a customer service call? This is the core of what I'm talking about that you have to master. And when you can master this, you can do anything. It's riding a bike. You'll never forget it, okay? Small steps. So here's the deal. No success is instant, and no collapse is sudden either. And so when people, it cracks me up when people they're on top of the world, and then the next year, and we see this at seminar, they're on top of the world. She had a quantum leap, and then she's missing the next year. So what happened? What happened? Well, she didn't keep doing the little things. It's that riding the bike. She didn't keep doing the little things. It's not sudden. Success is not sudden, but neither is the collapse. And so you have to keep it going. An inner city child, everybody, inner city kids are sold on the fact that if they, if they become a star athlete, they're going to have this quantum leap out of the ghetto or out of the hood. That's their meal ticket, to success is sports. But the problem is that only 1 in 16,000, get full rides, full scholarships, and make it big. And so what happens is they don't have the skill and the education to get out of there. Still, they go back to their same lifestyle. They go back to the same bad habits, drugs. Some of them die early violent death. It's really sad. But think about this, little things. So what if every first grader was encouraged to read 10 pages of a good book every day? What's going to happen is their love for reading and learning, they become a sponge. And then as they get older, they start reading more books on self-development, money, financial development, spiritual development. And what you're doing is you're changing lives, and they're in control. It's not by luck, it's not talent, it's by knowledge. Knowledge is power. And so that's what the book that I was reading, The Slight Edge, is all about. It's just, pouring into yourself, working on you. Yes, we're working on our skills of our business, the booking, coach, sell, recruit, but working on you, changing that negative record that's in I'm not good enough, I'm never going to make it, I'm not pretty enough, I don't speak well enough. When you go to seminar, you see there's not a cookie cutter mold. That's what I love about seminar. It's a melting pot of everybody with different color skin, different color backgrounds, different color education background. And sometimes I'm like, oh gosh, how did she get up there? I can do it. It's a belief barrier for me. It's breaking that belief barrier. Anybody can do this. I love it. But it's changing. It's changing the way you think, the way you do things, and the things that you're putting first. So hold on, I skipped over some things. So the power of little decisions made daily, compounds daily over time, is powerful, okay? In the movie Bruce Almighty, God says to Bruce, you want a miracle? You be the miracle, all right? You want a quantum leap? You be the quantum leap. You know how to quantum leap. It's doing those daily things, simple daily things every single day, putting in that effort. So you already know what to do. You've created the you create your small daily disciplines to create that compound effect that will give you your quantum leap. All right, so here's some things. Do you wake up each morning knowing what your task is? If you have not gotten into the habit of doing the one thing that Mary Kay talks about in her book more than anything, if you haven't read Mary Kay's autobiography, you need to read it. Okay, it's an easy read. I don't want to hear that you don't have time. I have 5 kids. I think I've read it 3 times. I love it. You need to know her heart. But she talks about the 6 most important things. And so I do it like I've already done my Sunday. I'll show you. I've already done my Sunday, my 6 most things to do. By the way, you're gonna have more than 6. I had somebody tell me one time, I don't do it because I always have more than 6. Well, that was not the point. You're a mom, you're gonna have more than 6. But you do that every day so you can sleep well at night and you wake up and you know what to do. If you could see my notes, I literally have my stuff numbered. Number 1, I pick up my groceries on Mondays at 9 a.m. Number 2, where's number 2? I've got to run by Catherine's to get something on the way to take Kai to her therapy. She has therapy on Monday. Number 4, I'm going to the mailbox while Kai's at therapy, get some products mailed out. Number 5, I'm dropping Kai off at school and meeting Natalie across the street at Dunkin' Donut. Number 6, I'm meeting Michelle and Rachel after Natalie at 1:30. And then I pick up my kids. And that's what I'm doing tomorrow. And I can sleep well tonight knowing it's all written down. I'm not going to forget anything. And so the 6 most important things to do is a life changer, okay? It's a day changer. When you're, and when are you booking, by the way? When do you book? Do you know when you book? Do you have that set in stone that you have a nighttime booking time and a daytime booking time? Why do you need 2 of those? Because some people respond more at night. The ones that didn't respond during the day will probably respond at night. People have their different busy times, okay? What are your work days? Do you have those blocked out in your date book when you're gonna work? I bet Natalie already knows what weekends she's coming home to work. I know my grocery day. I do pickup. If you haven't figured out grocery pickup at Walmart or Kroger, I never go into a grocery store. I just order it online, pick it up, bring it home. Y'all, that saves me so much time. Be present to the moment. If you're being with your kids, be with your kids. But if you're supposed to be working your Mary Kay, you better work your Mary Kay. Don't stop because somebody canceled and go clean your toilets. That's not when you had that is not when you had that scheduled. You're in business. You're the president and the CEO of $1 million business. You have to schedule your day, okay? And don't give me that, I don't like being so structured. Well, then you don't want to be a leader. You don't want to be a $1 million sales director, because you know what? This doesn't just happen. You make it happen. You create your future. You create your destiny. You create your financial freedom. And what you do now, well, your later self will thank you for. I say that to my boys all the time. Don't do something stupid that your older self later down the road is going to hate you for, but vice versa. Every Sunday night, I just showed you guys, I prepare my notebook, my dry erase board, and my notebook from my date book. So I have my calendar on 3 places, and we've talked about that before, because it has to be in front of me. You have to have a plan for the next day before you go to bed, or else your day will take control of you. Busyness is the playground for the devil, and you will never reach your goal if you're just flying by the seat of your pants. I get that. I know some people are, they're just high I personalities, but you cannot teach what you do not know. And believe me, you might get to the top pretty quickly by being that personality because you're fun and energy giving, and people join you just because you're fun. But pretty soon they figure out that they can't do what you do, and you're going to have to give them some substance. You're going to have to give them a foundation, some leadership. And so That's a whole personality thing. That's a whole personality training. And so this quantum leap that you guys are all wanting and working toward, I hope to wrap this up. I hope you understand that it's simple daily disciplines of doing these things. And when you're reading these personal development books and these, I don't want to call them self-help, they're personal development. Why are those so important? Because, hear my heart, you are in a business where women will disappoint you. People will disappoint you. But never, ever allow that to happen. Women and people are always going to try to create your world smaller. And if you cannot ever allow that to happen, you already have a big dream and a big vision in your heart and in your mind. God gave that to you. Don't give anybody that power to shrink you down, ever, ever, ever. And so by giving yourself the knowledge and through erasing those negative thoughts that go through your head, personal development, when you do have those cancellations, like 57 people didn't respond to me. Many of you probably would have ran out the door crying, thrown yourself on your bed and just, said, forget this doesn't work. I just keep going. And it's because this is my goal. This is my baby. And, act like you're in labor and deliver it. Stop being in labor for your whole life. Deliver this. Get it done. Get it done. It's 6 months from start to finish. If you just stop playing the stop-start game. All right, Marianne, do you want to add anything to this?
Just to add on to that, one of those last things that Michelle said, and it was a deeper revelation than a thought that I had before, and I shared it with her when we were in our leadership training, because throughout my Mary Kay career, personally as a consultant and also as a team leader with my unit and everything, I've had goals, and I would they would just kind of change with the wind, or really like however things were going in my business or however my team was doing. I would change what the goal was. It would go high or it would go low, just depending on how things were going. And I feel like God spoke to my heart and he said, I gave you this goal. They didn't. Your customers didn't give you this goal. So, I gave you this goal. This is your calling. You stick with it no matter what's going on around you. And I was like, okay, yes, sir. And so, and it just kind of gave me a little bit more confidence in myself and in him and the plans that he has for me. And so it also helped me to get rid of any fears of a big goal. I'm like, well, if he gave it to me, he's going to have to provide, but I also have to provide the work and everything. And so all of this that Michelle is talking about goes along with that to getting there. And that's, I was like that high I personality in the beginning of my business. I could fly by the seat of my pants very easily and do well. But then I learned, through my training and everything that, not everybody can do that. And then plus with more things in my life and more children, I love structure now. I almost can't function without it. But I know it's for the best because it just amazes me that, I thought it was pretty awesome when I was a teacher and working with a club in the high school and in nursing and working in the church, like doing a lot. Like I thought I had it all together, but looking back, I was such a hot mess then. I'm so much better now. And so it amazes me, the incredible power of people to become better, to really do what you want to do. And so I believe that anybody can change. I totally believe we can always be a better version of ourselves. And when you want it and when you go after it, when you call in like this and when you put the work, what Michelle is teaching, you're going to see it and you're going to so love it.
Thank you, Marianne. You're so awesome. Yes, I remember being just blown away by Marianne. Just 9 months into the business, she's nursing, she's going through DIQ, and she's finishing her teaching career up during the last few weeks of school, which means she had to do all these IEPs. And I didn't at the time know what an IEP was, but now I do know because of Kai. And I'm like, oh my God, how did she ever finish her qualifications to become a sales director? Only by the grace of God and the fact that the skills that she learned on how to be structured and, do the first things first. And so, guys, I hope this was helpful. I hope that you get this business is simple. It may not always be easy, but it's simple. And the fact is, if you just keep going, you get there. You just don't quit. Don't quit on you. Don't quit on your family. You eventually get there, okay? You get there, I promise. Just keep going. So Hudson's here. We're going to do a drawing. Marianne, do you want to give us some numbers?
14.
14.
7.
7. Number 7. Who's number 7?
Shelly, she's my girl.
Yay! All right, Shelly, you're our president. Yay! All right, everybody, this is recorded. You're welcome to watch it again. And if you don't have a great book to read right now, I highly recommend Slight Edge. Once again, I've said it like a million times. That's my favorite book. All right, good night, everybody. Good night.